claims that starting, and he's going to open his hand of 5 cards. I'm really excited to see how this, Crystron plus RB deck plays, because so many people are already confused by what the Crystron cards do, because while they all do the same thing, they also all do different things. It's really interesting.
Very nuanced difference. It's like a Crystal Beast deck with almost always the same effects. But here we go. It's field spell time.
Oh my gosh, and that's the brand new field spell. I believe it's called Funk Dock.
Funk Dock.
And I believe that field spell does everything you need it to. It basically will get you another access to any other RB monster you might want, and that can give you the extension you need to just go into your main extra deck monsters, like the Link 2 or the Link 3.
Resolves.
Okay, so it's going to go ahead and resolve. So let's go ahead and grab something from the deck here.
Add to hand. RB Vulcan Rocket.
That is going to be Vulcan Rocket. I believe that is the... I want to say it's the pop. It's the ignition effect pop that can summon itself if you control another, either RB or another machine monster.
Now, if I remember those beautiful commercials they did on the live stream, I think it was Valcan Rocket, but either or, there's a bunch of different Yu-Gi-Oh names, but I love the idea of like these two competing companies trying to sell your machine the best parts.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, all of the main deck RB monsters can essentially equip themselves to your link monsters by having their arrows point to them, and then they have various effects based on that happening, and they can all summon themselves if you control a RB card. I think it's the phrase, an RB card. There we see the normal summon of Smiger after the Fool Los gets activated there from Brandon.
Grave can add, correct? I will banish it from grave to search a Crystron spell trap.
Yeah, so Smiger is the one that is, if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and search for a spell trap. Almost all of the main deck monsters have an effect that when they're in the graveyard, you can banish them and do something else. All of the tuners have an effect that let you basically quick synchro or summon other monsters. And then all the level 4, or sorry, all the level 5 or higher can let you destroy your other Crystron cards.
Well, speaking of level 5, looks like Vanquish Soul Holly Suit is appearing here. Going to go ahead and try to special summon itself to the field, maybe try to get a little interaction before we get any further with this combo. And it's interesting too, from Brandon's perspective, you have 2 decks that are a little bit kind of unknown. There's not a lot of Crystron players out there. They certainly have had some tops this year, like Steven Santoli with that beautiful Horus Crystron deck at YCS Providence. But this is not Horus, this is RB, so it's a totally different game plan.
And something that Crystron really has going for it is like, if your interaction with it involves like actual destruction effects, like Rosin or Caesar Valius, they kind of don't care because all their effects activate in the graveyard or they activate when they are destroyed. So it can be sometimes pretty difficult for some decks like even Vanquish Soul to interact with those cards.
Looks like we might be thinking about Link summoning here or Synchro summoning, right? Math's not bad. You either have an 8-star Synchro or a Link 2 monster. And there actually is a pretty good one in RB.
Yeah, that's probably going to be what, RB Valcan Booster, right? The one that can search for, I think it's any spell card?
It is any spell card, so think about that. We've talked about how powerful a Link 1 that searches a field spell is. Check out a Link 2 that searches any spell at all.
It also lets you Link climb because you can summon back any RB monster as well.
It can search an RB spell trap. I'm choosing not to use it.
Oh, we're choosing not to use the Valcan Booster effect on summon. That kind of tells me, and I think the people at home too, that Nathan doesn't have any other RB spell cards in his deck.
Interesting. So just running the field spell and just trying to make a big punch, perhaps? We'll have to see.
There is a powerful spell card that lets you summon any Link monster you want for RB, but that does lock you into only 1,500 attack point or less machine monsters, and that's a little too low because you want to access your powerful Crystron engine in your extra deck.
Well, speaking of accessing decks, looks like we're going back into the main deck here and grabbing Crystron Inclusion.
Yeah, so basically that Valcan Booster has the ability to summon back the Valcan Rocket. But before we do any of that, let's go ahead and just use Smiger here, get Inclusion, and then do the rest of the Crystron combo by getting Sulfador, summon Sulfador, get rid of your Inclusion, and then send more cards from your deck to the grave.
Impulse and Border to special from deck.
So
non-psychic.
So we're revealing Fire and Dark for Holly Sue to summon from the deck. This is probably going to get the Rosin, so that way we can just get the Vulcan Booster out of here.
Well, also a little bit of information there. Brandon also on the Rescue Ace Impulse, so I'm curious to know if he's going to be bringing out any other Rescue Ace cards. It's honestly just a good fire monster in and of itself with its ability to negate the highest attack monster on the field, or actually prevent it from activating its effect, excuse me.
Yeah, Nathan might have made a mistake earlier during the open game state to not activate the Valcan Booster's effect immediately to summon, because if you respond with Holly Suit to that, you wouldn't have time in the same chain to use Rosin, so he would still get the extra body, but now I don't think he'll be able to.
And we're going to keep going from here, so looks like our Vanquish Soul Rasen's going to hit the field.
Oh, no, I know why he didn't do it, because that effect to Reborn also locks you into 1,500 attack or less.
Oh, machine, yeah, so
and
just
that
like
wouldn't summon Sulfador, yeah.
Just like Crystron locks you into machines, it's true that RB effects do lock you into 1,500 attack or lower monsters, so that can be difficult to deal with.
No. Effect? Yep.
Ooh, and this is really heads up from Brandon here, getting rid of the inclusion with his own effects. Yes, that still puts it in Nathan's graveyard, which will give him value later, but now he has no card to destroy to summon his Sulfador. He will get a lot of less value out of that.
Well, we'll see if he's able to make it out of this turn with anything established. And it always is interesting watching Vanquish Soul play because on your own turn, you know what they're playing and what may defeat you. But we're going to see Triple Tactics talent here to draw 2 more cards, dig deeper in the deck.
That's pretty good. He needs some way to get another Crystron body in play that's not inclusion. Because he needs a way to get value out of this Sulfador. I believe he could just get rid of his own RB field spell, but
I'd like to concede.
No, but yeah, I think you have to destroy a Crystron card with Sulfador, so he just has no way to continue
He's
playing.
give it his best.
Last time we started with the RB cards. This time will we start with the Crystron cards?
Draw phase with priority.
Now we got Perulia. Perulia probably a little less impactful than Fuelos, but the RB monsters all summon themselves from the hand, so that could be a little awkward. And of course your normal summon will matter, but and maybe Sulfador. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of summoning from the hand. Never mind. That Perulia is pretty annoying.
It's pretty good. And now Crystron, again, you know, you don't see it all the time because I feel like it was caught in the crossfire of a lot of different side deck tech options, such as Artifact Lancia, which was the #1 card played at YCS Orlando.
Sure.
And that kind of stops a lot of the ability to banish. So I wonder if the RB actually helps because you're not doing as much banishment there, and it kind of offsets that so you don't just immediately lose to Artifact Lancia resolving.
That's a very good point.
Foolish Burial.
But here we're starting off with normal summon Tristaros, activate Foolish Burial. That's awesome to see because essentially if you try to respond to that, now we can Tristaros and get a free body no matter what, which is pretty awesome.
Crystron, Solfafnir.
We're sending Solfafnir to the yard, trying to maybe summon it back by getting rid of one of our other Crystron cards and then summon some more tuners.
Going to straighten things out here. We are still in tournament play there, but it looks like a much stronger start for Nathan here as he's able to just get multiple Crystrons to the graveyard. Again, activating all those effects, and again, retaining a Crystron in the graveyard too, just in case it's needed.
Yep, so here we see Solfafnir discarding the Sulfador, summoning itself, and then destroying itself.
Or to special summon a Crystron from deck.
That'll now allow him to special summon a Crystron from the deck because it was destroyed via a Crystron card effect.
Now, I did catch in Brandon's hand an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, but he didn't decide to use it here, so maybe he's worried about something else. I'm not sure if it's on the RB or the Crystron side.
It's the Tristaros, right? Because if you activate that Ash Blossom, Tristaros will let him summon any Crystron from the deck.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Because he's activating a card effect.
Well, at some point you can't just watch your opponent play. You may have to be brave, or you might just hold on to the Ash Blossom for revealing on your own turn, but well, let's see how we get now.
Now we're going to get Smyger. I do love the heads-up play from Nathan to discard his Sulfador because he knows that summoning that from the hand will just give him too much advantage to Brandon via that Perulia. He doesn't really necessarily need to summon from the hand anymore besides maybe one RB card if he wants to.
And it looks like we're getting the SP Little Knight.
Sulfador from graveyard.
Little disruption, but we're going to activate the effect of Sulfador from graveyard, destroying the Crystron inclusion. And now from the grave, here comes the Sulfador back.
Yep.
Sulfador effect.
And this will give us access to things like the cluster in our graveyard, and maybe we can get like the Sturvin, get another monster added to our hand, but not sure if that's going to be too much value here. We could send Citree to the graveyard, get that in rotation, maybe summon it back later off a different effect.
You were right about the Ash Blossom timing. This seems like a much stronger use of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring because, again, you're also not playing the Crystron Tristaros.
Right, because now it's not in play because you use it to summon the SP. But now we've got Smyger, and now Smyger's going to be able to get the Crystron cluster just added straight to hand. But without a Synchro monster, we won't be able to get that double pop that you normally get access to. But we will
and
have
that
SP.
only pops one if you don't control a Synchro?
If I don't control a Crystron Synchro. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It has to be a Crystron Synchro specifically. That is important.
Love that Nathan was very clear there. It's so important to just not answer your opponent's question, but clearly state the card effects. So good sportsmanship and good following the tournament policy guidelines.
Yep, but thanks to the inclusion being banished here, we will be able to get that Tristaros back and Synchro summon the old faithful Eleskeletus.
Target the Smyger.
And then we met the Smyger from our banish because you can add back from graveyard or banish.
Yeah, graveyard or banish.
Yeah, Crystron Eleskeletus is pretty cool. It also blanket reduces all your opponent's monsters by 500 attack and defense. And then if it's into the graveyard, you can summon a Crystron monster from your graveyard or banished. It's a pretty good card.
Now, speaking of good cards, I think I saw too many of them in Brandon's hand. I saw another Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and what appears to be the Rescue Ace Impulse he's activating now. There might be a Vanquish Soul start, but this is not going to be a Vanquish Soul heavy turn.
But we will see the value of that fire attacker that we saw some Vanquish Soul decks playing because it basically gives you access to another fire and can give you some extra draws to dig into your other pieces because you need other attributes and you need sometimes specific cards like Holly Sue, and just increasing your overall consistency is pretty cool.
Yeah. I will attempt fire attacker effect since a card was added to your hand to draw 2, discard 1.
Yep, that does trigger because it's
Perfect
already
timing.
in play by the time the first effect resolves. And then let's see if we get anything fun there. I think I saw a Fua, which will no longer work. So that's a pretty good discard here. Depends on what other cards we have in hand. Yeah, something like Fua is not on attribute, so getting rid of it seems like pretty easy to do in a Vanquish Soul deck. I think I saw another Ash Blossom, like you said, plus Staker Soul and Holly Sue, but no Vanquish Soul names.
Ooh, so getting part of the puzzle, but not all of it.
Target. Destroy Synchro Monster I control, summon 2.
Yep, so now we're activating the effect of Tristaros in the graveyard, banishing it to destroy a Synchro Monster, and then we can special summon 2 Crystron monsters from our deck. That will then trigger Skeletus on a different chain. This is just everything you want to be doing. This might be when he starts maybe going for the RB lines, but because he has the SP already in his extra monster zone, he's kind of not going to be link summoning ever again.
One off of the Fuulos here.
He didn't activate Fuulos.
He activated Purulia.
He activated
Specials 2 simultaneous.
So he activated Peruli. He did not activate
Yeah, we're
Fua.
double checking there. Like, hey, friend.
Oh yeah, no.
It's in
okay.
the graveyard. It's in the graveyard. He's like, how else would that be in the graveyard?
Yeah.
Discarded it. And I thought
It's been a long day for every duelist. Give him a break there, but that does mean good things for Nathan. He is not causing his opponent to draw and playing very carefully to make sure that doesn't happen.
So here we have Skeletus bringing back the Solvador, and now we have Solfepnir, Solvador, and Tristaros, which means during Brandon's turn we have the potential to do a lot of really scary stuff with that Tristaros, but we're going to do something really fun here, and we're going to overlay 2 level 5 monsters.
The materials are too... Oh,
Cyber
wow.
Dragon Nova, baby!
Are we going into Cyber Dragon? Yes, we are, Infinity.
Of course we are, and I believe, is that a monster on Brandon's board that we can just eat up if we wanted to?
But I think it's not an attack position.
Oh,
That's
you're
the
totally
only
right.
way you're able to
You're
suck
so
it up.
right. You're so right. I forgot. Infinity's not that good.
I only drew. I didn't.
I mean, it is that good. It's just not that good.
So we know we have Cluster, and fun fact, even though Cluster right now doesn't have a Synchro Monster to use, if Brandon activates any card effect, he'll have that Synchro Monster.
Stand by face.
Yep.
Well, you gotta activate a card effect.
So
you want to pass turn.
I mean, this is a pretty scary board. We have potentially a double pop, potentially a Synchro Monster, and an SP Little Knight, and an Infinity.
I'm seeing how Nathan made it this far with this particular deck. Obviously, Brandon Vanquish Soul, it's a good deck. People know that it is reliable, but this is really showcasing something different.
Activate Staker Soul, reveal Ash Blossom. This is a pretty good, juicy Infinity target.
Soul monster, but a different name.
Basically, if you have the read that your opponent doesn't have Rosin, this guarantees Rosin for them, and that's like everything you need.
I'll negate that.
Okay, we're going to negate the activation, attaching the material there.
We are going to negate with Infinity, but I think I saw Brandon draw Triple Tactics Talent for turn.
Oh,
so
no.
this Infinity being used early might bite Nathan in the butt.
Triple Tactics Talent's done some crazy stuff this tournament, and here it
There
comes.
it is!
Counts. I will choose the effect to draw 2.
Drawing 2, though. Not. Oh, it's because he has no other Vanquish in hand, so that start that he has in hand is not a starter. He does have Holly Sue, but no other names. So that Staker Soul is actually a really important card.
I think we're about to synchro summon, but there's the Ash Blossom.
On the Tristaros.
That results.
Okay.
All right, these 2 cards are going to be pretty important. We still have
See
a
what we
pop
get.
and an SP.
I think I saw another Molt Charmy.
That's not going to do it.
And
that
I think a
Impulse?
Rescue Ace Impulse. Yeah,
Ooh.
no names at all.
This can happen in the pure version of Vanquish Soul, where essentially all you have are a lot of the wrong attribute, too many names, or no names.
I know, he keeps tapping that deck saying assist me, and unfortunately the assisting cards are not coming in.
I mean, he still would have to play through an SP and a cluster and whatever the unknown set card is. That's still a lot, even for Vanquish Soul to do on your own turn, because proactively there's not much there for you to do. But we're going to swing, switch Fire Attacker to attack mode. I believe it's 2500 attack, right?
I think 2200, but it being in attack mode is kind of dangerous because, again, Cyber Dragon Infinity can absorb that.
But we're probably just going to attack SP and then go cluster, get rid of it, so we don't lose our SP. But that could be a big bait to maybe turn on that Fua that we apparently know Brandon has in hand.
Oh, yeah, he did have that, so I guess maybe we're trying to stop additional special summons, but here comes the Crystron cluster.
But at this point, like, we don't need to special summon that many more monsters if we're Nathan to get the damage we need.
Nothing in response.
Yep, so we'll target, and then we'll shuffle back, and because we've successfully done that first part, the Fire Attacker will now be destroyed.
So certainly difficult on Brandon. Said he had a great game 1 without having to even enter his own turn, but this time not so lucky.
Yeah, this is a pretty awkward situation, having no Vanquish Soul names.
Sorry. Force of habit.
I would like to concede.
Oh,
Okay.
Brandon is not even gonna play, and that's because the infinity's there. If he goes Fui, you just go infinity on your turn. Right, Brandon on the right, Nathan on the left. Brandon has proudly proclaimed he's going first for this all-important game. He said so himself, and I saw some cards being drawn by these duelists. Holy snap.
And that final round was just a joke, by the way, because we still got plenty of rounds left to go. But starting off with the Molcharmi Purulia is pretty good.
That's a big
clap
one.
from the crowd on that one.
He did it to him last game. It's only
Hey,
fair, right?
fair is fair in Love and War and Duel Monsters.
So we're starting off with Pot of Prosperity. That's another thing that we haven't really talked about with the Vanquish Soul deck is that your extra deck kind of doesn't matter. So like there's some funny stuff in a lot of Vanquish Soul decks, and so being able to play things like Pot of Prosperity or even Pot of Extravagance I've seen is really useful for just adding to your overall consistency, which is like I said, this deck's probably only struggle.
Could definitely see a Pot of Extravagance build where it's like 3 Rock of the Vanquisher, 3 Vanquish Soul Rocks, etc. But looks like we are going for the Prosperity here, just trying to pick out the right targets. Banish those 6 face down. We got an Ash Blossom or anything like that. Got a quick peek over the shoulder there.
Results?
Yep.
All right, let's reveal these 6 cards.
All right,
Fire
so
Attacker, Mad Love, Rosin, Mad Love again, Ash Blossom, and Ash Blossom. So we have non-engine and some engine.
Dude, I'm really thinking about it.
He might take the Fire Attacker, he said. That's funny.
Oh, we might do it.
It's not a bad card. It's a fire attribute, but so are other cards there. I mean, it's got to be Rosin if you don't already have it. If you do have it, that means you're taking something else. Mad Love maybe isn't better than Rosin by itself.
Thinking about that Rosin. I do see a Droll and Lockbird in the hand on Brandon's side, so he may be able to weather the storm of the RBs on Nathan's.
Droll and Lockbird is one of my favorite pieces of non-engine in this format because it's the only one that works going first or going second. So like you can build your board and draw your opponent,
Anything on resolution?
or you can have nothing and draw your opponent. The charmies only work if you have nothing.
Exactly, but did go ahead and add. Let's see what the next play is. Oh, Droll and Lockbird, speaking of which.
But because we added... Now, he is technically drolling himself as well because he did activate Purulia, and so now he won't be able to draw off that anymore. But he's like, if you added Rosin, you might want to add some more cards too. So now you
Preventing
can't do
Rosin
that.
from doing really anything.
Yes.
It is interesting to think though, like if you're Nathan, like how confident are you that your opponent's gonna like pop off?
Summon.
Sure.
So we're just gonna normal summon, and then we're gonna go straight into a Link summon here,
Banish
into
all
Rock.
my rocks. Effect add back.
Yeah.
Yep, so we're gonna add back from the graveyard to our hand just to keep the flow of resources going and have access to the Rosin on the next
End
turn.
of main.
Sure.
Pass turn.
So we don't know any
Okay.
attributes besides the Rosin. So this Rosin being summoned during his turn might be rough, but we can always add the next one.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's during the main phase
It's
specifically.
only during the main phase for the effects.
Me and Brandon were thinking the same thing. Of like, what are you wondering? If you do it now, it won't do anything. If you do it later, maybe it does something. Oh, I think I just saw an imp from Nathan's hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh my God, is that Lightning Storm too? Oh wow, we've got it all, baby.
Some choices to make. Now, Lightning Storm does make perfect sense in an RB deck because, again, clear out all the spells and traps and then get to work.
There it is. Now we are gonna let him use the rock.
Results.
That is interesting.
Okay,
We got rid of a solemn strike.
Worth. 100% worth.
Yes. Good sequencing there from Nate.
Normal summon Smiger.
Normal summon Smiger. Smart to do it in the column that rock is in because then if he Rosin's over there, he'll also get rid of his own rock. It targets all monsters in the same column, not just your opponents.
Would you like to use the effect?
Use the effect of Clockwork
I'll
Knight.
summon.
Oh, Artifact Lancia.
Lancia. That was the other card that was in his hand.
We talked about how Crystron gets caught in the crossfire. Artifact Lancia, a very powerful card against Malice, which is a very popular strategy. The #1 side deck choice, sometimes main decked in YCS Orlando. So this is really going to stymie Nathan's Crystron plays.
This is a non-engine game if I've ever seen it, man. We've seen more non-engine than anything else.
End of main. Activate. Special from hand.
Ooh, we're turning to leave the main phase, and then we're going to use the rock effect to special the Rosin, and because we added a monster to a different column, this will get a lot of value for Brandon here. This might get the Holly Sue, or Mad Love to keep playing on his next turn. That's pretty smart, too.
Well, it looks like the doctor is in, making house calls to our featured match table.
Oh, and we know he has an Ash Blossom, right? Or, no, we know he has, does he have a fire attribute that we know about?
I see a Droll and Lockbird, but I can't see the fire attribute. There are multiple monsters, though, in the hand trying to peek over his shoulder here.
He might not have the ability of Rosin, then, to actually blow up the column.
End of main.
End of main. Activate. Target.
Yep.
Oh, Caesar
Ooh.
Valius, okay.
So now we know he has Fire Dark, and now
And
Caesar in
Would
play.
you like to do anything else in end of main?
No.
And now we can reuse Rosin on his turn, too.
You cut this.
And use Mad Love thanks to the rock. Oh, the advantage engine of Vanquish Soul has been turned on. All this non-engine bought Brandon the time he needs to start really playing his game. And it's stymied Nathan.
Stay by face?
Let's see what happens.
Main face.
Sure.
Effective special.
The sun may be getting real low on Nathan for just this game. Again, he has a spotless tournament record, so this won't throw him out of contention, but every win counts. Taking a look at that face down card as he spins the other in his hand.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's good.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot here because essentially it's hard to tell what attributes Brandon has access to. You know he has Fire and Dark, and if he just has Earth, this Caesar Values can just start tearing apart Nathan's entire career. And so that set card, whatever it is probably not even safe. So using it earlier might be better than waiting. But this start is threatening to get Holly Sue, or threatening to get Xiaolong, or threatening to get basically all the free Vanquish Soul monsters.
Well, we have reached the Vanquish Soul start, so start to pin the board there. Going from location to location, attribute to attribute. What are we going to reveal here?
Jonathan Francis Warner. Jonathan Francis
If you're Nathan, that start is pretty threatening, but I don't know how powerful it is, you know, because you're already sharing down some of the most powerful cards in the Vanquish Soul archetype.
Doesn't make it worse, doesn't make it better, but
No, you're fine.
big think here, we say. Big think.
I mean, I imagine Brandon's trying to calculate if he can even go for lethal, because while Vanquish Soul can generate a lot of damage, it can't summon a lot of monsters, all powerful ones, in a single turn without having like a big hand already. But there's probably a world where he can deal a lot of damage this turn, and then through Borger Burn this turn, Borger Burn on his opponent's next turn, that would be enough damage to win the game. So he's probably just doing some math here as he gets that Borger by targeting his Valius with the field spell.
Dark to dark, dust to dust. Looks like we may be doing 1,500 points of effect damage later, but right now we're going to go ahead and target.
Yep,
Bounce it back, and here comes Borger.
We still have Fire Dark, and we still have a regular normal summon for hand.
Because I'm going to activate Revealing Mad Love to draw a card.
Ooh, we're just drawing with Borger here. Okay, so we're going for the advantage route, not the damage route. Ooh, and that was a Stake Your Soul draw. That is huge.
That is destiny if I ever saw it. So Stake Your Soul, of course, given the ability to get a little bit more in the Vanquish Soul tank. Seems like he's pausing here. Not sure if he wants to go in further.
I mean, the problem is like his only fire in hand might be Rosin, and so if he normal summons Rosin to get his Earth, he'll never be able to activate Caesar Valius. So there's probably a world where he should have gotten another fire off of the start rather than the Borger. But it now just depends on like how he wants to go about summoning Rosin. If it's via normal summon, or if he's summoning something else via Stake Your Soul.
Well, we're not about to chip this one out because we still got 15 minutes left on the clock, but it does seem like that Stake Your Soul's coming down.
Stake, reveal Raisin.
Okay, so he's revealing Rosin. Now, Rosin cannot be summoned here because he's revealing Rosin to do so, but he can summon Xiaolong, which would be pretty huge, both in attack points and in some fun things it can do.
Changing battle positions may be helpful when you're trying to go for game here, although not relevant with the Link monster on the field. It is stuck in attack position.
But now if he has access to another fire, he can start searching for even more Vanquish Soul cards. That's like the really big thing, I think. Because what he can do is he can go like Rosin, search for another Xiaolong just to have a fire in hand, and then he can go like use Rock the Vanquisher to make Vanquish Soul rocks. Oh, you know what? No, because he still has Mad Love in hand, so he can go Holy Sue summon.
Reveal.
Yeah. I like this. I like this a lot.
All right, we'll deck the halls with Holly Sue. She has come down, and that is a full Vanquish Soul field.
Oh my gosh, we're going for a rank 5 play. Please say it's Nash Knight. Please say it's Nash Knight.
It's Nash Knight.
Yes! Oh, this is a really fun tech you can do in this deck because it essentially unlocks a bunch of other really for...
I love that it's just like, what is that? It's going to be here for a while. You heard him.
That was funny.
Take a 101 to 104 monster, attach it, and then I can suck up, it's like an honor arc as well.
Yeah, so this is a really good explanation of the card. Basically, by detaching 2, he can go into a new Xyz monster from his extra deck. That's 101 to 104. He's going to go for Masquerade. By sucking it up, he then gets to take one of his opponent's monsters. And now, if he wants to, he can also go into another rank. And because he has the 104 already underneath, if he goes for Umbra Horror Masquerade.
Oh, wow. And it has it as Xyz material. What?
Yeah, so now he's going for Chaos Xyz Nash Knight, which will now let him go into, I believe, Chaos Umbra Horror Masquerade.
Activate, target this to pop it.
Yep, so
yeah, and that's the C104 with 104 attached.
And it was imperm. It's going to be popped here. And now I believe that also...
Some battle phase.
Now we're going straight to battle phase.
18. Yeah.
Plus
3K.
48,
25.
63, 73, and then
That's
game with Umbra Horror
game.
Masquerade. That was awesome to see.